thought this will be kind of fun. He's drunk. It's ordinary. I actually said something about it. I think I said that they're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, some more people got on. He started talking about the oil spill, and, he was really, really drunk and was obviously one of these kids with a kind of a leftist political sensibility and a lot of agitation and not a lot of information. He said some things that were sort of funny. He was talking about rounding up all the senators and killing them and everything, and but he was getting pretty loud and he was cursing a lot. It was fine. Mom, you need sit down. I'm not going to do the moving camera thing. You're not Cecil B. DeMille. So he gets on. So we're driving down the streetcar and he's cursing and cursing and cursing. It's agitating people. I can tell people are a little bit. Everybody's doing that thing that you do in crowded spaces where you consciously try not to be involved with what's happening 5 seats behind you. I didn't know how many people were with him. And then this woman gets on with her kid. And the girl's asking all kinds of questions and being kind of adorable, talking about what they're seeing on the streetcar. And every now and then the guy will, scream, "Fuck!" or "We should fucking kill him." That kind
all
of thing.
All the senators.
All the senators. Fuck them,
Senators. He's got it in for the senators.
He doesn't have any idea who he's talking about. But he was cursing and he was agitated. And I said to Abby, I said, maybe I should go back there and just say, hey, look, everybody's in political agreement with you, but you need to not curse as a kid on the streetcar. Then we got to Washington, and some more kids were getting on the streetcar, and I said, great, more kids. And I was starting to get kind of nervous about it. Well, he got worse and worse and worse. The singing had completely stopped and had been totally replaced with basic profanity about how there's no political center in Louisiana, whatever the hell that means. So he was, dropping a lot of F-bombs and really just being completely out of line. And then he started harassing traffic. There was some guy in a Yukon who was like, hey, nice
Yukon.
Nice Yukon. Nice Yukon, probably because I guess it consumes a lot of oil.
Sure.
No, this gets way better. So finally, this woman who's with her kid, she obviously had been trying to shield her kid from the curse words, and she was a pretty rough and tumble looking lady herself. And she finally turns around and says, you're being disgusting. I have a 5-year-old girl with me. You need to be quiet. And around that time, he threw something from the streetcar onto a car. And she calls to the driver and she says, hey, you need to throw him off. He's being disgusting. He hasn't stopped cursing since we've been getting on. And he just threw something on a car. And the guy immediately starts calling this woman, oh, you fucking bitch. And he screams to the driver, I don't know what this bitch is talking about. She's lying. And at this point, I sort of think things are going to blow over because the driver clearly is a nice guy and he just turns around and he said, hey, buddy, you need to chill out, okay? Just chill.
You're being disrespectful.
Be quiet. Just chill. Be quiet. And I thought, okay, it's going to pass. It's fine. I sort of hoped he'd get thrown off, but he didn't. Well, he goes about 30 seconds and then starts cursing again about this situation. Says something to the girl, calls the mother ugly, And the driver, at this point, the streetcar driver notices that the driver of the car, the Mercedes he threw his cup onto, has pulled over and gotten out. He's on his cell phone. He's ripped. He's a giant. He's got a loosened tie. I think he's an African-American guy, but he's big. And he was he was pointing to the streetcar, and the driver turns back around and he says, I'm going to stop this streetcar right now and put you out, and you're going to have to deal with him. Is that what you want? Now shut up. So the guy's quiet for 10 more seconds and then starts cursing again. And the driver stops the streetcar. And he turns around and he's like, get out. And the guy has his girlfriend with him. And the girlfriend is cursing too. Now she's attacking the mother, bitch. And these people are the scum of the earth. Classic hipster scum.
Right.
And as they're walking past, this guy spits on the mother and the girl. And I was like, what? And I was getting some vicarious blood-boiling wrath. And he gets off the streetcar, and 1 second after he gets off the streetcar, the Mercedes slams to a complete stop in St. Charles. This huge dude jumps out.
No words.
No words, and walks up, and I think, oh, it's about to be awesome, because the driver's just stopped the car, everybody's looking. And I'm expecting the guy to be like, you just threw that cup on my... I didn't hear this guy's voice. He just walked up to this kid who must have weighed 120 pounds and punched him as hard as he could in the face. Boom! And the kid flies back. Kid stumbles for a second, kind of moves towards the guy. Boom! Right again. Hard. Then he gets the kid, pulls him close, hits him a few times in the body while his wife is trying to pull him back into the Mercedes, then gives him another one. Hits him so hard in the face the third time, it sounded like someone had hit his car. At first I thought a door had slammed. It was like, pop, like that. Blood starts pouring out of this kid's mouth, and then the dude just throws him to the ground. Streetcar driver's sitting there looking at it on his walkie-talkie going, he's called the police, and he's going, man, this kid's getting his ass, kicked. This kid's spitting blood, man. This is real messed up. He's laughing. Now everybody's like half laughing, but kind of half scared. I guess I was mostly laughing at this point. I was starting to really be excited. Mercedes driver gets back in his car and drives away. Meanwhile, bloody hipster jumps up and starts running along the side of the streetcar, spitting blood into the windows. Streetcar driver's on the phone. He's going, man, he's spitting blood at people now, man. Y'all got to get down here. Kid goes runs up the street to like get away because he knows now it's all over. His girlfriend's like, let's get out of here. They run up the street, and then he has like a little surge of anger, runs back to the streetcar, gets in front of the streetcar, gives us the double salute. And this was my favorite part. The driver, who's like obviously could tear this kid in half, is going, yeah, now he's standing in front of the streetcar. Oh, don't come any don't you come spit at me, kid. He's like, he's spitting blood. He could have AIDS. He could spitting AIDS all over the streetcar. Y'all better get here to deal with this kid before I get out there and deal with him. And then he rolls up his window real quick as the kid comes and starts spitting blood on him. Rebecca's like, close your window, and I was like,
to the other side, spit blood.
He spit blood on the mother. She got blood on her arm. Yeah, the kid's crying.
I think he's gonna come to me. I'm like running away from the
all the people on the streetcar are now like, hoping this kid basically gets killed. He's been beaten. I promise his nose is broken, and I'm sure he's going to have the worst headache in the world tomorrow. But he's really drunk too, so he doesn't quite know it yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, they make it like half a block before some units show up. So far as I could tell, the units basically drove up, threw him in the car, made a U-turn and left. Like they didn't interview any witnesses. They weren't going to be like, and then the suspect. They just, whatever they're going to do, they're just going to set up. You know what I mean? Their report's going to be, spoke to the mother. She said, he hit her in the face.
No one's like,
no one's named.
The car of the guy that.
They didn't even sobriety test.
They didn't even talk to the streetcar driver. They just let him know. They were like, we picked him up, and then they headed back. So the streetcar driver has to get back on the car, and he says, hey, was anybody traumatized by that? Is everybody okay? And everyone's like, no, we're all fine. He's like, okay, well, all right. Turns back around, starts the streetcar back up, and we go home. It was awesome.
It was crazy.